birds?
My favorite magic bird's Baleful Strix.
Baleful Strix? What about you, Kyler?
Bro, the only bird I can think of right now is Mockingbird. I'm gonna be for real. That's the only one I can think of.
That's the only one?
I guess that's my favorite because it's the only bird I can think of. Oh wait, Birds of Paradise.
Birds of
I was
Paradise.
going to say.
Oh,
Bob-
my bad. Did I
Yeah,
steal yours?
about the Bop? No,
Oh,
I
my
said Baleful
fault.
Strix already.
Bop's,
Okay.
Bop's pretty good.
Okay.
Bop is a
we'll
good
say
choice.
Birds of Paradise.
Me personally, I'm a Bloomborough.
Enjoyer.
I'm a Bloomborough
Enjoyer.
enjoyer. A little ledger shredder action.
Okay.
You know? A little full
Oh,
art
oh,
ledger
okay.
shredder. The owl.
Okay.
Smart owl. Smart
I was a
owl.
little confused, but I was like, yeah, it was reprinted in that set.
First
Yeah.
print,
Yeah,
kinda.
the foil one's up to $32 now. $31.95. I traded for that
Nice.
bad boy. Was it yesterday? For Glarb, little Glarb, Calamity's Augur. His moistness.
We're making new decks out here.
CDH time, baby.
Yeah, Ledger Shredder and Glarb goes hard.
You know the Planeswalker stamps. Normal foil wasn't enough. Had to get the owl going. So today, fellas, where are we talking?
Talk about magic.
Talking about Magic.
Talk about some magic.
Yeah, how about we talk? Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk TCG. All right. Thumbs up. That's pretty good. I like
That was horrible.
That's all right.
Well,
it's going to improve
I found
over
myself
time.
that I didn't make eye contact with the camera once.
I didn't, but it's okay.
I was talking to you guys a lot. I made eye contact a couple times.
We're looking at each other. You guys are here along for the ride. So, you know, we're going to be talking about some funny, goofy stuff. So, first things first, fellas. If we look on today's agenda, we're going to be talking a little bit about us, you know, what we got going on, you know, what the plans are going forward. And then we're going to deep dive into some magic.
You're really giving the audience an agenda over
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna deep dive
What
into
is this?
some
What is this, business class?
This is business class, guys. This is Magic 101. And then, you know, we might get into a little bit of the today stuff, like some Final Fantasy, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some Final Fantasy. It's a new rave right now. That's what
Yeah,
everybody's talking about.
Yeah, don't get me started on Cloud, bro. I'll start going off.
Yeah, you've been jonesing over that deck for a minute.
I can't wait.
You know,
I know you
I
can.
can't wait.
so you're gonna make a cloud deck?
That's the plan.
What's the point?
The point is to swing at people. I like to swing. You like to swing?
I was making a cloud point joke.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, anyways, guys, if you couldn't tell, this podcast is Let's Talk TCG, sponsored by Cloud Point Gaming. And we are Cloud Point Gaming.
I'm Kyler.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Alex. Welcome to Cloud Point Games. So, now, getting started, a little bit about us. We are three buddies who've been playing Magic together for a few years now, and we really enjoy card games. Me personally, I enjoy collectibles. I enjoy card games. You name it. Anything technical, I love to do. Zach here is our resident, really just expert, because Buddy can teach.
I was gonna say if you called me a magic boomer, I wouldn't be upset.
Magic boomer?
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset.
Little magic boomer. He is he's our little.
He's been around the block.
He's our in-house wizened dwarf
Yeah.
of the fantasy sense.
Sure. Yeah,
But,
I've been playing since 1997. I got my first set of cards was Tempest. It was a gift. My grandma got them for me. We were out, and I said I really wanted them. All the cooler older kids at camp were playing Magic.
Gam got you the hookup?
She got me a
Yo.
starter deck, Tempest. That when it came, it was like 60 cards, but it was like a booster, I want to say. But yeah, it was my first set. I didn't understand any of it. I was 7. So I ended up getting the Portal starter set with like Thorn Elemental and like the really easy to read, broken down little pictures of the swords for the tower, little pictures of shields where the toughness went.
There you go.
And that was kind of the beginning of my Magic journey.
I'm curious as to what
Honestly,
that's worth nowadays.
Oh man. So when I turned 18, I ended up giving like most of my cards to my cousin. So I don't have too many
Opportunity
of them
missed.
left. I don't have too
That's
many of them
very
left.
unfortunate, you
I ended
know.
up getting a lot of them back from him. There was just like a cardboard box, just randomly everything thrown in there. Only hit I pulled out was a Sensei's Divining Top.
There we go.
But
That's
hey,
better than nothing.
Okay, you
better
know.
than nothing.
Yeah.
Sensei's top. That's a good
It
card.
was like $40 at the time. It was before the reprints. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
Kamigawa.
Yeah.
Well, it's still up there though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody wants Sensei's top.
And it's got some sentimental value.
It sure does.
It's been around the block.
So
Yeah.
you still have it?
Oh yeah, it's in my CDH deck.
Even better.
Yeah.
Nice. Got to put the OG in there.
It's not foil or anything, but it's got
It's foil in your heart.
Yeah, right.
So that's Zach. A little bit about Kyler. This man Kyler here. Tell us about it, bro. As far as I know, Kyler, this man's a Pokemon expert.
Yeah, I'm very more well tuned with Pokemon because that was what I opened up the most as a kid. Just like Zach, my grandmother also was my little Pokemon plug. She go to Walgreens, go to a little Walmart, something like that. Grandma, gotta get a pack. You should give me like a little pack here and there. So I'm definitely more of a Pokemon tuned guy, but I definitely had a lot of fun when a friend of mine that I actually worked with, he introduced me to Magic. And as soon as I started getting into it, it's a little confusing at first. There's definitely a bit of a learning curve, I would say, to get into the game. But, I started collecting, I think I started with New Capenna, and I've been collecting and playing since.
Okay.
So.
New Capenna first set?
Yeah, New Capenna's first set.
Well, I've seen Magic around for a bit. I definitely, was into collecting Pokemon first, and other collectibles. I've been collecting collectibles since I was, a wee lad, a wee youngin. Back in the days of good old 07. I'm actually only 21 years old, so it's a little hard to believe. But 03 was a good year. That's when Mirrodin came out.
Yeah, that was my first pre-release.
For those of you who didn't know,
that was my first pre-release.
Mirrodin's a pretty good set. There's some hits in there, but it's also as old as me.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
It is kind of wild to think about. But I started collecting Transformers. I love those. Collected those. 07 came out. Michael Bay really cooked us up there. A little Linkin Park action. We collected those, and then Pokemon, and then eventually, Kyler here got me to start playing Magic. Went out with him.
Had to bring him in.
I saw Brothers War, and Brothers War had Transformers, Universes Beyond.
Match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven. So I got hooked on the Magic right then. My first deck was the worst deck in the world. It was Ratchet.
Yeah, I remember.
Rescue Racer.
Okay.
Mono white, and you built it. I built it, but I had so many help from other people, but it was the worst thing in the world. And now, knowing what I know now, I'd love to go back and revisit that.
Yeah.
With some actual usable knowledge, and make a little janky deck. But that's fun. So
that'd be cool. That'd be a cool project.
We might have to go through that together in the future.
Deck breakdown.
A little deck
Ratchet.
tech. A little Ratchet.
Oh, dude.
I'll build Clank.
Clank.
Yeah.
You got it.
Hear me out. We all of our OG commanders.
That's next year's Secret Lair.
Oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
All of our OG first commanders. Maybe we kind of revisit them, make one, y'all fight.
We don't want to see Jetmir.
Was that your first?
No, that was Kyler's first.
Oh, that was my first. Jetmir.
I'm done with Jetmir.
Jetmir was my first, but the one that I originally wanted to do was Xander. But that was, as coming into Magic, it was very, it was kind of confusing, all the different things to do with that. So I was like, I'm just going to make creatures swing. It's kind of an easier thing for me to go for, just getting into the game. There's just a little bit of, I can then swing at you.
Well, funny or not, you're kind of blowing up everyone's ears, so let's kind of pipe it down a little bit. Getting a little loud out here. Sir, calm down.
My fault.
Sir, calm down. Whisper to us.
So anyway, like I was saying.
Anyway. Okay, but yeah, no, just so we don't blow you guys' ears up, because that was not nice. But anyway, so our first commanders, that might be something we do down the road. That'd be pretty fun. But other than that, we're starting as, little trio, starting our own little online presence here. And, here in the near future, we're going to have a location open for a card store, collectible store, you name it, in Delaware here.
It's in the works.
It's going to be pretty good. We're working on that right now. So, you guys keep an ear out. And you can buy all your singles, packs, and pretty much anything else from us. If we got it, you got it.
Shoot for deck boxes, sleeves.
That's what I'm saying.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang, Doug. So we're going to get that up and cooking here in a few weeks, maybe a couple months. We'll have some
more
online.
Into that, or are we focused more on cards right now?
Well, we're doing about us.
No, I mean, it's a little bit of both.
Like,
what to expect in the future? You know what I'm saying?
We're going to be. It's not going to be just trading cards at Cloud Point.
Oh no, we're gonna have. Well, for one, we're gonna have all the D&D stuff you can think of that we can get our hands on.
Handful of collectibles.
Tables, gonna be able to play.
Yeah.
And maybe even down the road, some custom stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll leave that as
right.
We'll leave that as a surprise.
That's to be announced.
That would be cool.
That's to be announced.
Cool.
But that's definitely in the works. So something we're gonna reach towards in the future. But for now, we're gonna sit here and hang out on this podcast and get into the nitty gritty of some Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So let's
Well.
talk about it.
So, guys, what are our favorite decks right now?
Oh, dude, can I say Cloud even though I don't have them built yet?
No, because we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be part of Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Because he's been frothing over this, and he's been excited for that portion. So, for now, decks you have built, what you have.
Well, I feel like it'd also be kind of mean to just say my favorite is my most powerful deck because that's.
Like, listen,
that's what you
it
enjoy
can be
playing the
most
most.
powerful.
I like playing my CEDH.
Timothy
Thras.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of colors. Doesn't have red, but I like the access to all the different things I can do with it, and the combo pieces, of course.
I see you play Tuvasa a lot lately.
Tuvasa is fun. I definitely made that one not as powerful, but it is kind of stacksy. It's like sometimes I'm gonna make it hard for people to swing at me. Sometimes I'm gonna make it a little annoying, but Tuvasa is kind of fun.
What I've noticed when you build decks, and it's not a bad
Here
thing.
we go.
I get into this quite a lot, but I love playing our stronger decks. I love playing our stronger, games, and I love the way you build decks because the way you think is very unique, and the way you put cards together is very awesome. Like, it's awesome. I love to see it. But you could say he says he tries not to make it powerful. It ends up being powerful just because of how you build a deck.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So I mean, I'm
Struggle
trying
from
to.
success.
I'm suffering
Exactly.
from success.
Struggling from success, but I am interested to see you in the future get some cards no one's heard of and make some jank.
It is fun.
I want to see some 12-card combos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
12 card combo.
Yeah.
You're gonna let me get them all out? You're not gonna counter any of them?
Well, that's the trick. You got to trick them out. Dog.
Yeah, you gotta make sure
You gotta
people
do
don't
something.
think it's a combo piece.
Exactly. You got to do something no
Yeah, dude,
one's
this
ever
does
heard
nothing.
of. And that kind of leads me into my favorite right now. It's Glarb Calamity's Augur. That's my
Okay.
new CDH, and it is high power, but it is very. It makes bad cards good, and I think that's pretty interesting when you think about it. Like, for instance, a card that came out in Mercadian Masks
Yeah.
called Gush.
Yeah.
It makes that card all of a sudden a really good card, and any spells that are mana value 4 or greater that you can play off the top for an alternate costing cast, like all your free counter spells.
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
cost
that
more.
Force of Will play.
Force of Will play.
What do you mystical tutored or you vampiric tutored?
Mystical Tutor for the Force of Will.
On
Put
the
it on
top.
top. You don't even have to draw because
Yep.
we have Glarb on the battlefield. Then we play Force of Will from top deck. So it turns a Mystical Tutor even to an even better card.
Yeah, it made the mystical tutor into a Force of Will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And with Gush, you can get a combo off with that with Doomsday. You can make yourself draw 2 cards to get what you need out of
Yeah.
your Doomsday pile.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, like I said, it makes bad cards good. Because who else is playing a Gush in CDH?
Gosh.
And let me tell you,
Oh,
it's only been
gosh.
printed once and it was hard to find.
Did you end up getting
Tell
one?
me the struggle,
Yeah.
man. Sometimes I'm having trouble
Yeah,
finding
in
cards
Newport.
for me, too.
Got
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. And they had a singular card,
Single gush.
$2.
Hey, $2 whole.
TCG player, that's like 30 cents though.
Yeah.
Highway robbery. You know what I'm saying? But,
Depends where you buy it from.
exactly. But anyway, that's mine. What about you, Zach?
Oh, right now I'd say my favorite deck is definitely probably Mike and 11.
Okay.
It's been a deck I've been thinking about trying to build how I want to build it since Mike and 11 came out in the Secret Lair. Definitely bought it at first because it was like I'm not really into the Universes Beyond stuff, but if I don't get it now, who knows how expensive it's going to be later. So I bought it, just kind of sat in the binder for years and years, and as I started making more and more Universes Beyond content, I decided I was going to build a whole deck of Universes Beyond. So I got Mike and 11 at the helm, but I got SpongeBob in there, I got Princess
You got Gary
Buttercup.
too, don't you?
Yeah, but SpongeBob.
You got the whole
Princess
the whole shebang.
Buttercup. I got a bunch of the Walking
If-
Dead dudes.
if you've-
Negan's an MVP in the deck.
If you've been in a coma for about 10-ish years, you probably are really confused at all the things he's saying. It's a very unique
I
deck.
was gonna say I love putting them all in the battle bus and swinging in.
Yeah, getting that victory royale, right?
Oh, victory royale.
Yeah.
Frank going over dealing infect with a bunch of non-magic related characters. It's just.
Well,
it's
the other
funny to
night,
me,
I
and
distinctly
it's-
remember getting an Excalibur thrown at me by
Captain America,
Yeah.
throwing Excalibur around. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
All the Marvel secret layers in there. Yeah, the Excalibur was.
It was pretty
It
good.
works
was pretty
surprisingly well.
It was awesome. It was great. It was great.
good. Strikes fear into everyone. It's
Yeah.
not gets out of hand really fast. It's really cool.
And it's just cool because it's there's no synergy other than the fact that there are a bunch of legendary creatures.
Well, you got the Bob Ross lanes in there too.
The Bob Ross lands. I got the little Vincent Van Gogh, Doctor Who card in there.
Yeah, not even a single basic that's not Universes
Yeah,
Beyond.
yeah.
It is insane.
Hmm.
Oh, the Clue lands.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of the deck.
They all enter
the
tapped,
tapped
yeah.
Clue lands, but you're kind of stretched thin when you're looking for Universes Beyond color fixing.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of the best route you can take, but.
Although, did you think about some of those Fallout Precon lands?
Yeah, I definitely pulled them out.
Even the
Doctor
Warhammer
Who
40K.
ones as well. Yeah, Warhammer. Like they do have some, but
Like the reprints, like
Yeah,
Temple of
that's-
Deceit
it's
and,
the Temple.
It counts- it
stuff
counts
like
as
that.
I
Universes
did
Beyond.
originally. I put the temples in from Fallout, and then I
Mm.
was like, like it's a magic thing. Temple of Deceit is a magic thing. So the Clue ones are objectively worse,
Mhm.
But they are
but
their
they're
own thing.
they're from
I can see
Clue.
it. I
you
can
know?
see it.
And not to mention, there's so much support from Lord of the Rings, the Doctor Who decks, because I do run 3 visits and stuff, because it's got a picture with the 3 different doctors on it, and there's a lot of the talismans from Doctor Who are all great. I do run those, because one's like a pair of sunglasses, or no, the 3D glasses. One's a scarf, one's a guitar, so it's like,
He's got
It's nice.
so
It's really
much
nice.
going on.
I really enjoy seeing you play that deck.
yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to try and get some recorded Commander games
Oh
with that
yeah,
deck.
you don't have to twist my arm to play it.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to twist my arm to play against it either. I like dealing with it. Going on. So we got our favorite decks. What are some you don't really like seeing right now?
Seeing
Oh,
myself
against
play
you.
or
Against you.
Decks that I
against
sit
me.
down and right now,
Dude, probably Tim the Thras. Like honestly,
Honestly, I feel the same way every time.
it's like I see that deck and I just kind of want to scoop.
I was gonna say the new Precon Zergo.
Precon Zergo?
Precon Zergo.
Draw
I
a
feel
card?
like-
Draw a card Zergo?
Yeah, draw a card or sack it. If it's not in combat, everybody loses a life. I just feel like I've seen that deck around a lot, and it's always really fast, really aggressive. So if you can't get blockers out,
You know what
the
I
best
think? You know what I
performance
think's a
I've
little
had
scarier?
against it was using the Abzan Big Butts Precon.
That one is pretty good. I do like that, the Big Butts Precon. That Zergo one, it is tough, man. I've seen people build it.
Yeah.
I played against it.
But that's
It
when
can be scary.
when I sit down, I'm like, ugh, this again.
But me personally, I built Zergo Thunder's Decree, which is the other one.
Okay, the one that makes you not have to sacrifice, right?
Yep,
Or
you don't
can't.
have you can't sacrifice
Can't
your warriors
sacrifice them.
on your instep.
Okay.
Any other time you can.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think that one's personally more flavorful because you just go for straight combat. There's no extra get around you, no extra, out of combat. Everyone loses a life. It's really straightforward, simple, but it's also pretty good. It's a different approach because you get the others that go, everyone's doing it. No one's doing Thunder's Decree, dog. I enjoy that one. That's another one of my favorites right now.
You get to swing.
Yeah. And keep them.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you go slower than everybody else, or they got flyers, you're done.
Yeah.
You get clocked out pretty good. But it's definitely interesting.
There is a lot
You know
of
what?
crazy stuff you can do with that Zergo.
Do you have Eldrazi Monument in there?
I do not.
You should definitely put Eldrazi
You know what I
Monument
did put in there, though? Altar of the Brood.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to where you're making 7 warriors
But I
per
think-
attack.
I think Eldrazi
Everyone's milling
Monument
7.
really helps if you.
I can get pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some more play with that. But as far as something I haven't like seen, it's been around for a minute, but Avacyn?
Avacyn?
Avacyn.
Avacyn's always frustrating, though. You hate seeing Armageddon and a Wrath of God.
Yeah. You definitely
Yeah.
hate seeing Avacyn if you're running mono red too.
It's not a good time.
Good luck. If you're running red, you're gonna need a lot of luck.
I'm all for being aggressive, destroying things, but as far as like making people not want to play the game, that'll get you.
Well, blowing up all the lands, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Once you got a well-timed Boros Charm in
Yeah.
the form of a Ghostbusters patch.
There you go.
If only that could happen in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
What about you? Or were you sticking with Tim the Throw?
Yeah, I was honestly
Yeah,
like love it, hate it. You know, it's
okay,
like
so you
it's
love
like
playing it, but like
if
also,
I was playing
if
at the
somebody
table,
else sits down with
I would
it, you're
probably be like,
"Oh,
yeah.
man."
Like I'm humble enough to admit that, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Nobody likes looking in a mirror.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, be like that.
Ain't nothing but hurt feelings there, you know? And you find out, oh, he did it better than me.
Yeah.
He put one card different than me in there.
And that was the
And it
one that
won in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you got to do a little something different. I like it. You know, don't worry. We'll see you in another month or two. Switch it up. Be like, man, Tim the Thrash, you know.
Well, I've been thinking about.
What other colors? What other commander can I do in those same colors?
I've been thinking about switching around.
Before
testing
there
some
was my
things.
CDH, I did Timna with Malcolm. Card draw mana generation.
That's pretty good.
Love that. Didn't have access to green, so lots of mana rocks to try and fix the ramp situation. Sometimes I get a little stalled on the right colors, but the treasure from Malcolm, that would fix that.
Well, I'm loving Glorb right now. Because beforehand,
Yeah.
you remember
Barb is sweet.
I was running Shurikai Genesis Engine, Azorius Control, and, you know, Thassa, Labman, Wingcon. You know, but that's Intruder Alarm, draw your deck. It's cool. You play Control, you slow people down. But it's not like... It draws games out. It turns quick games into mid-range games, and they take a long time.
Yeah.
You know, CDH is supposed to be fast-paced. You're supposed to be going at
I mean,
it.
it's still fast paced, but you're kind of countering everybody else's pace, I guess. You know.
Well, yeah, like, you know, your creatures are running
Let's
tapped.
slow things down.
What's slow? Let's slow things down.
Slow it down.
I thought you were asking what slows things down. I was like, where do I even begin?
Teferi's tagline from Arena. Let's slow things down.
That's exactly what that shirt guy deck did.
All right, least favorite cards to see somebody cast Teferi.
Any of them.
any of them.
Flash is not nice. Making other people not be able to cast when they want to cast is not fun either.
Yeah.
Because they tell you, all my instant counter spells, I do not want to be casting those at sorcery speed usually.
Yeah, man. Nobody wants to cast a counterspell at sorcery speed.
I remember one time I took Zer before Zer got broken down, turned into Malcolm, Timna, and then rebuilt as Zer. My first build of Zer, it was kind of like a Staxy kind of deck. I didn't realize it at the time. The only things I had for stacks were like the 3-mana Teferi, Grand Arbiter, and like some of the like Eidolon of Rhetoric, or not Rhetoric.
Well, I support
the
those.
things that make you like only cast one spell a turn, not Eidolon of Rhetoric.
One spell a turn, I think is a bit much, especially in CDH.
Yeah, like I didn't, when I sat down at the table, they were like, oh, so how you build it? I was like, oh, it's just kind of like a pillow fort, and I try and like get in with Zer like Voltron, and then I'm sitting there playing it, and I play the 3 fairy, and then I play the Grand Arbiter, and I'm like, and they're like, I thought you said, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's.
It happens.
But
That's definitely interesting. I kind of wish I could have seen it in that form. But as far as dude, I support slight control, like Silence, Orm's Champ,
Yeah, those are
good cards.
good. Yeah.
because you know if you want to stop somebody for a turn, so you can do what you need to do. I like that because that takes a little more. That's a little more targeted control. I think that's a bit more interactive.
Yeah.
Because you know you can counter these spells; they don't have to resolve. But if they do, you are controlling another player. You're slowing them down, letting yourself get a little ahead. I support
Hopefully,
that.
time walking them.
Hopefully, but I don't know. I think those, you know, like what's the card that makes it where you can play one spell a turn?
There's a couple.
Is that
There's a
Rule of
few.
Law?
That's one.
The Rule of Law.
Yeah.
The Rule of Law effects. I think those are too much. In casual, I think that's a bit better
They were just nice little enchantments.
because a lot of
Give
times
Zer,
in
but-
casual, like normal
Yeah.
commander, people are playing one spell a turn because they're
Yeah.
high mana cost, and that's cool. You know, you're not destroying people's games by making them
Yeah.
only cast one spell. So I think you know it was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Because now you know I'm with the fast boys.
Yeah.
I got all my mana rocks out and I'm going at it. But yeah. So we got cards we don't like to say, or decks we don't
Commanders,
like.
yeah.
to say.
Commanders.
Now, when it comes to playing Magic, what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy collecting or do you enjoy playing?
It's got to be playing.
Playing.
There's
I
no
think,
way.
I
it's
think
nowhere-
playing
yeah.
is on top of that.
Pokemon is definitely more of a. I enjoy
Collector,
collecting
yeah.
more than playing because
Pokemon's cool, but with the Magic and collecting, I feel like collecting and playing go hand in hand.
Yeah, like I definitely get good cards for decks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like occasionally I'll get cards just for the binder.
Yeah,
Because
I
a few of the
mean,
Final Fantasy cards that I know everybody else is building, but I still want them, and they still have cool art. So I would
Yeah.
like a copy,
Yeah.
like not to get too ahead of ourselves here, but the VV, the alt art for the VV.
Absolutely.
everybody wants that.
That's
BB.
what I'm saying. Everybody's gonna build it, so I'm not gonna build it.
There's
but
a
like,
lot
the
of
alt art for
beautiful
the VV is like so
alt
good.
arts, but I find myself getting normal arts, and then over time upgrading to the fancy arts.
Yeah.
And then,
I would like to
then
do
collecting the
Like
normal arts.
build with what you get.
That
for
way,
pull.
because my favorite thing, getting bored on an evening or a weekend, going through my own collection and being like, what can I build? You know, and a lot of times Magic cards being, paper stocks as they are, worth money. A lot of times you can just trade cards, build a deck.
Yeah.
Trade to a shop, trade to the boys.
I like to hold on to my bulk, man.
Yeah, hold on to the bulk. I'm talking about your hits. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like $40 cards you're not using. And then, obviously next week you'll be like, man, I really need that card.
Yeah.
Happens every time. Happens more times than I'd like to admit. But I've really enjoyed that lately.
What's even worse is when you just bought a card and then you open a pack and get that same card.
Yeah.
It's
Or
happened.
the better version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me with
Like,
Force of
yeah.
Will. I bought a Force of Will, like, I guess like maybe like a few months ago, and then I think it was like a couple months after I bought the Force of Will that I bought.
You opened one.
I opened like was it Dominaria remastered, and I pulled the borderless Force of Will, and I'm like,
Problems to have, man. Problems to have.
Man,
Now
yeah.
you just have two.
you know what they said, suffering from success. What can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad. You definitely can't trade
So
that
bad.
for other cards
Nope.
you need. But yeah, it's interesting. I like getting the binder full. Checking it out, being like, okay, got some cool cards, and getting rid of them. Going down to bare bones binder. You got slim pickings in there, but you built some cool decks, and then you start making some financial decisions, buying some packs. Maybe some old schoolies like the one we got up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Start getting some old schoolies, or maybe some little collectors. We like getting collectors out here. Good pulls.
I mean, if we're speaking
Fancy
about
foil, shiny cardboard.
I'd say that's
Some
the
old
biggest
school.
problem with the game store we go to right now.
Yeah.
Availability of collector's packs. We picked them all off the shelves.
Yeah. Well, the
It's like unless you want an Aether Drift collector, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
struggling part with collectors, they've started to only do one run
Yeah.
when the set releases. So if you don't get them off rip, it's hard to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
Unless it's a shop where they constantly get inventory and get them out there for people to buy. No,
and we know it's hard, too, with certain shops
It
to
can
get
be.
to get a
because
lot of
it all
distribution,
depends based
so.
on how popular the shop is and people
Yeah.
who go there. If it's not a very popular store, they're gonna have trouble getting what we want.
Yeah.
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 And you love going to your weekend stores.
Yeah,
you
your
like supporting them,
LGS.
but it's hard sometimes because you want to get those packs.
It's hard to support them. You end up buying some sleeves or a box.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you buy them because they have them.
I want to spend
Yeah.
some money here to support the shop, but I don't.
But
I
they
can
don't
only-
got what I want to really.
can only do so much.
I'll buy a deck box.
Yeah,
I guess I'll buy some sleeves because I know I'll use sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's I guess that's something I'm assuming everybody deals with nowadays,
Yeah.
especially with the way the market's looking and people buying cards. You gotta, I don't know about Final Fantasy, but it's starting to look like maybe Magic's getting a little bit of that Pokemon traffic for scalping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely getting
Because I've seen the videos
to
online.
that extent.
People getting those buggies at Walmart and just shoveling it in there.
Okay, I did actually go to Walmart today, and I was looking at the card section, and I do have to say the Pokemon is definitely, it continues to be probably the bigger issue for sure, because I think all I saw there was like one single like fight pack or something. I forget what it was. It was like league battle kind of deal. And then Magic, I saw a whole brand new like kind of case of just like the individual packs of Aether Drift.
Well, that's
So
Aether Drift, yeah.
that's Aether Drift.
Yeah, Aether Drift.
I had such high hopes for that set. It's got cool cards in it. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
if you call- yeah.
One of my favorite decks, my artifact deck,
Mendicant.
Mendicant,
Yeah.
Core Godlight.
Yeah,
That's an
yeah,
Aether
yeah.
Drift commander right there.
I like that one.
Max Speed is a cool game piece.
that's a cool
it's
deck
interesting.
that you were able to work on.
You know,
I like
and
it.
obviously it's not the easiest to get going because you got to deal damage on your turn to get that max speed. But once you do, you can do some fun stuff. Little mechanized production wing. little march of progress, dude. That's a good time right there. But yeah, man, I'm really hoping we don't see a scalper phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, you know.
Yep.
Because I like the community being able to get hands on the cards.
Yeah.
Especially in our community, it can be tough. Because there's really not too many options. You know?
Unless you're in the right place at the right time.
Right place,
and
right
able-
time.
And a
able
lot
to
of
make
people-
the investment when the set
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I mean, the more expensive they are, a set comes out, people are dropping $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's silly how much I spent on Dragonstorm.
yeah, I spent a good bit too. You know.
Like, didn't even...
Spent a little bit.
Wasn't even a hype for that set, and I ended up...
Well, there was a lot of cool cards in
Yeah.
Talk Tcg, especially if you're a dragon enjoyer.
Yeah. Which...
It was hyped for a couple weeks until people were like, well, guys, Final Fantasy's the next set coming out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, pretty much.
And then the spoiler season for that's just been...
Mm-hmm.
It's been something, all right. You know, every day there's a new card. Yeah. Well, we've been talking about it, you know, here and there. Why don't we
Maybe just jump
why don't we
into
jump into some
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy talk?
What do you want to start with?
First of all, as somebody who hasn't really played Final Fantasy games, I've heard about them. You know, I've seen stuff about them. Always thought they were cool, but never really took the time to get into them myself. I think it's a little off the wall. And when they first announced this, I wasn't necessarily too excited because I didn't really know what to expect. But now that I've seen, you know, obviously leaks, obviously them announcing cards that are going to be in the set, I think it's very neat. There are a bunch of good reprints, you know. And the fact that they made this set standard,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. Like, they made it an
Yeah, that
entire
is
set,
definitely very interesting.
and there's a lot of cards in this set, and a lot of them are good, like just good cards, and they're new cards, and there's a lot of them I'm interested. Like, for instance, there's a couple different versions of Tifa.
Yeah.
I'm looking at mono green Tifa.
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
Look at mono green Tifa. Now, the Naya Tifa, that's cool and all. Extra combats.
Mhm.
That's interesting. We get it. You're going to swing at 3 people, get 3 extra combats. I love it. You're probably going to win the game off that, too. Interesting. I'd love to see it. But mono green Landfall Tifa?
Doubles your power.
command-
Are we going to turn bad cards good again? Are we going to turn a wild
That's
growth?
that's what happens,
Good?
man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I do
saying?
love some green
I mean,
combat tricks.
I know
I think
a
this
lot
is
of
going to be
decks.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, half the deck, cheap enchantment auras. You know what I'm saying? Instants that just temporarily buff power and then play a couple lands and then
Dude,
go off.
friggin' Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds never look so good in a monocolored deck.
Never.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Like,
Bounce lands. You know what I'm saying?
so I think high market, and there's the green one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're probably gonna be putting a lot of money in lands.
Yeah.
I would say. Now it's not gonna be too crazy because it is mono green. Now you could
yeah.
do any of the pain lands that have green in them, like your pay 1
You
life.
could, I mean,
Your fetch lands?
yeah,
Fetch
your
lands?
fetch lands, yeah.
Any fetch land with green,
yeah,
you're
those.
gonna
Yep.
want that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go grab a forest.
Get your untapped forest.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's a good look.
It's a simple deck. It's just literally rampant combat tricks.
You know, all
Yep.
your creatures that enter a sack of land get 2 more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get your
Enters,
Steve out.
Put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, all your play additional lands like
Oh man,
Azusa.
Zach's already just like,
Well,
he doesn't want
I've been tinkering with a mono green pile for a while. Like, I don't know who I want to be the commander, but like, just going through my collection, like I pulled out like all of my cultivates, all my Kodamas Reach, all my rampant growths, and it's just like, dude,
Well,
you
because
could
green is such a
probably-
comfort color.
You could make a deck just out of green staple cards.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Steve's,
Mhm.
your 3 visits.
It doesn't need to have the crazy cards to
Yeah,
work.
like,
it's literally just
just all the staples.
It-
We don't need a
budget
gas grill
deck.
to
You
get
could even
this
throw a
going.
freaking what's his face, Sad Robot, Solemn Simulacrum,
Yep.
Absolutely.
and it's 4 mana for a land, but ooh.
Mhm.
I'm thinking more, artifacts. You want to do gear per orrery. Everyone gets an additional land per turn.
yeah, a little
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
a little bit of group hug is
Run out of cards in hand. That's green. That's card drawing green.
Or it's a flourishing.
Yep. There
Yep.
you go. There's so many different ways you could take it, and it's very interesting. And I'm interested to see what kind of pile I can get going for it.
Yeah.
You've kind of called dibs on it. We'll see what you can get
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
and show it
'Cause-
off. We'll talk about that on a later episode.
Yeah, we'll go over that when the time comes. But like my last mono green commander was Azusa, dog. Azusa Landfall.
Yeah.
Trust
And it
me,
was fun.
That's going to be going in his deck. I already know.
Absolutely. Why would you not? Azusa, play 2 extra lands. Every extra land card you're going to get
You talk about
exploration.
Miku? You talk about Hatsune Miku?
Hatsune
Oh
Miku.
yeah, that's
Lost
right.
but
Yeah,
Singing?
yeah.
Lost
Lost
but
but singing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have that in my one deck.
Yeah, it's crazy that they reprinted that in a main set.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Universes within version of
yeah.
It's going to be good. I'm
Hatsune
excited
Miku.
for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. We'll see what we can do. Now, Kyler, I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this. What are you excited
Yeah, dude.
for?
I am so excited to build a Sephiroth deck. I know Sephiroth is definitely one of the ones that.
Oh.
I think that was out of left field.
Wait, whoa, what?
I think you.
I thought you were
No,
saying,
of course I'm gonna be building Cloud. Of course.
Let's get to the point.
Now, which cloud?
The Cloud point. Which Cloud? It's gonna be the Precon one. It's Cloud X Soldier.
So
is
Naya?
The Naya,
Okay.
commander. He has a base ability of having haste, and when he enters the battlefield, you can attach 1 target equipment to him, and then like that's cool. But the main ability that I really want to work on and seeing if I can get the best value out of it is his bottom ability. It allows you to draw a card for each equipped attacking creature when you swing with Cloud, and then after you attack, if you attacked with a creature with power 7 or greater, if Cloud has power 7 or greater, then you make 2 treasure tokens, and I think that would be a really good kind of combat deck, kind of I think the backup commander is Tifa, right?
Yeah,
Tifa is
Tifa.
the backup.
Tifa.
She does she does some weird. I swing it every opponent, and as long as more than 7 damage got through, I get an extra turn or something like that, right?
No, it's whenever a creature
Or no,
powers
extra
7
combat. Yeah.
No, it's whenever a creature power 7 or greater deals combat damage to a player.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
get
said.
Initial combat.
That's what I said.
You don't. You said you have to deal 7 combat damage. So it's.
It just needs. Oh yeah,
Power
any
7
part of
or
it,
greater.
gets
Yep.
through. Gotcha.
So what equipment are you putting on them?
Dude, you got to get Helm of the Host, of course.
I almost said what equipment besides Helm of the Host.
Yeah. Obviously, you want more
It
clouds.
sounds like Magic decided they wanted to break Arden Rogrock.
Yeah. Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Arden Rogrock.
With green. Except my idea and this vision I have in my head is I don't want to make it Voltron. I kind of want to make it go wide because Naya is definitely known for going wide already, and I think it makes more sense because obviously you draw a card for each equipped attacking creature. So if I'm only swinging with Cloud, it's only 1 card I draw. So my whole thing is I want to try and get some pretty good card advantage in Naya, which would be.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna go wide with Cloud himself, Helm of the Host.
Well, yes. I mean, obviously, I could go wide with Cloud.
Are you gonna wait? Is it a May ability for that draw that card, or is it a draw card? Because you might end up decking yourself.
Let's see if it is.
Think about it.
When he attacks, draw a card for each.
Yes, draw a card. So I'd have to do a little bit of math.
I look forward to
Do a little
seeing
bit
you
of math.
deck yourself with this. I think it would be fun.
Oh, what's Thassa's Oracle doing in my Naya deck? Oh, sorry guys.
It was accidental. It was a misinput, guys. It was a
So-
misinput.
So we got a deck for Togo.
This is one of the cards that I was thinking about putting in.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Rock.
I love it.
With
Rock.
1, tap it, sack the rock, 2 damage to any target, and equip cost of 1. So that sounds like a way to get a lot of cheap, easy equipment for all these tokens that you want.
That is definitely one of the ones I was considering.
Yeah,
but I think the one
yeah.
that's really been tickling my fancy
What you got?
is all of the living weapon for Mirrodin artifacts.
Yeah.
Because when you cast the artifact, you
free
also
real
make
estate.
free real estate.
Yeah.
Exactly. You make a creature and it attaches right to the creature.
Yeah.
So,
Like a Nettle Cyst.
yeah, like Nettle
Yeah,
Cyst,
the germ stuff, the germ weapons, yeah.
Bitterthorn, Nissa's Animist or something, right? Isn't that Nissa's something? It's like Bitterthorn is one of the living weapons. Right. Yeah, Nissa's Animist.
Yeah. Yep.
Just anything that I can cast.
And that also gives you more lands.
It does. Yeah, I want to get like the swords that give me the.
combos with Togo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So there's definitely
Are
a lot
we
of
gonna
things.
combo out on Togo and win the game?
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw
We're
throw
not
rocks.
doing Cloud anymore. We're doing Togo.
We're doing Togo and I'm
We're
throwing
doing
rocks
mono
at
red
people.
landfall, guys. Mono red landfall. It's promising.
So yeah, no, I have some ideas with Cloud. I'm really excited
That's cool.
to work on
That's
that.
cool.
I'm excited. To
Zach,
figure out
what
a way to
are
deal with
you
it.
excited on, man? You hadn't had a chance yet to talk about Final Fantasy
Well,
that much.
let's see. As far as like, if we're going for commanders or just cards, because right now, like,
In general,
top
I mean,
of my head, one of my favorite cards that I've seen is probably Overkill.
No.
Target
Oh, is it
creature
that funny
gets
one?
minus 0, minus 9,999. It's like the opposite of the cactus. I've seen some cool interactions online where people like lose life according to the difference between their power
I
and their
did see
toughness.
one of those. Yeah.
But I just think it's a really cool removal spell that gets around like indestructible. You know,
That is true. Yep.
it's gonna kill pretty much whatever you target with it, unless it's, you know, getting hexproof or
It's
something.
crazy how my Treebeard Generous Host is like a 3,000,
And that would still
with
kill it.
trample and flying.
Yeah, it would still kill it. Well, Ward 2 though, you gotta
It's
make
Ward
sure you
2?
can pay that.
Oh, are you gonna pay the 2?
I'm gonna have to, I hope. But
Hey guys, I'm scared. Well, guys.
and that's the wrap. That's the end of the pod right there.
Guys,
Hey,
I'm
guys, I'm scared.
We're gonna recover.
Is it still
It's,
recording?
it's still recording. We're gonna recover.
Did you get that?
Oh yeah.
Did you get? I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared and the phone flipped over.
Get some moisture off the bottom of that Cane's cup.
All right, guys, we're back. I definitely scared the camera. I apologize. So, yeah, anyway, what were you saying, guys?
I was just talking about Overkill, but
Yeah.
as far as Commander goes, one that kind of piqued my interest, didn't really expect it to, was Sephiroth Fallen Hero. He's a 5, a red and a white. He's a 7/5 human avatar soldier. When he attacks, you can put a cell counter on target creature until end of turn. Each modified creature you control has a base power and toughness of 7/5. And then you can pay 3, sack a mod creature to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So, not much of a Boros player. I generally avoid
Sounds like
red.
you might have some living weapons in there.
Yeah, you know, kind of piggybacks
might even have
off
to put it in, yeah.
Yeah, like some living weapons would be good, as well as, you know, we're back to Togo. It might be Togo.
Rocks?
No,
I
might be making rocks in here too.
I think we're
No,
making
but,
rocks.
yeah, I just thought it was the concept of making a bunch of creatures and then maybe like a Cathar's Crusade or something, putting a little counter on each one of your dudes, and then swinging with a big old army of 7/5s.
Yeah, man. As long as you're
Sounds
not
kinda
like
good.
I could probably get behind that.
Sounds kind of good. Reminds me a little bit of my I have a Lord of Nazgul deck. That, you know, once you get 9 of them, they turn into
I've
9
played
of-
that one before. It's kind of.
I like the idea of making a bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden, it's real big. But without using like your Crater Hoofs or your
yeah.
Moonshade
Dragon Throne of
Cavalry.
Tarkir.
Pretty good near. Make a creature modified. But yeah, I'd say probably that Sephiroth is the one that I didn't expect to like, but out of stuff that I'm seeing, he seems cool. The green, the Q dude, he's like a little chef. That
Yes.
makes frog tokens.
I've seen it.
He looks pretty cool. I'm thinking maybe like a pauper build for him. Same. I've been thinking about a pauper build for Black Vault's number 3. He's a 3 and a black and a red. He's like I think he's a 3/3 flyer. Might have haste. Whenever you cast a instant or sorcery, 2 damage to each opponent. So like a Rakdos Storm. Flying and Death Touch 2/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature, so your mana rocks, everything, it's all going to give you a
some
ping to
burn.
2 for everybody.
4 minutes, not bad.
He's only 4, yeah, so 2 and a red-black, not 3. But yeah, he's got some pretty cool art. I really like the little black mage dudes from Final Fantasy. You know? So, like, it seems like a cool build. It's not VV. But, like, it's got some cool vibes to it, and trying to build a pauper, I think, would be a challenge to have it do anything good.
I mean, that seems promising.
Yeah.
You know? I'm interested to see if you do that. I like it. Now, one I was thinking about, well, I think is it the Chocobo that's Bant?
The Bant Chocobo, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
take a look
that
at-
one
let's take a
too.
look
It's
at
like
that
the
one.
bird tribal kind of thing.
Well, that's kind of the way I'm thinking about taking it. I mean,
Seeker of Paradise.
Chocobo Seeker of Paradise. It is 1 and Bant, so that's green, white, blue. 4 mana, 3/5. And it says whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may put one of them into your hand, then put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest in your graveyard. Now, this could be interesting, because obviously they do go in your graveyard, and it also gives a landfall ability. Whenever a land you control enters, Choco gets +1/+0 to end the turn. Now, this is interesting, because it's kind of like, landfall adjusts that power, kind of like Tifo. So, honestly, like, you could see me, if I don't do mono green Tifa, I might do Choco and toss her in there, So I think it's interesting. I think it's definitely bird tribal.
Hey, Alex,
So,
that's not a bird, though.
I think your Tempest Hawks are going to go crazy in here.
Tempest Hawk would be cool.
That would be. Yeah.
But I think that's what everyone's going to do, if they build this deck. So I think I might try and we might do a few Tempest Hawks, but I think we might try and find every single bird I can find in Bant.
Bird of Paradise.
Birds of Paradise, a little Ledger Shredder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every single bird we can get and see what we can do.
I'm on board for any deck that you can make a Healer's Hawk actually do some work in.
That's what I'm saying. Because look at that many other top cards in your library. It bird tokens.
Stormcrow.
You might actually see me
Stormcrow's
Strict
going in.
Serenade one of my own spells.
Oh, yeah.
For a 2/2
Make
bird.
a bird.
Little burb. Might have to do it. That might go in there just for that. I like it. Yeah, I might beg everyone that I'm playing against to Strict Serenade anything I'm playing. Give me a bird, dude. Give me a bird. But I think that's interesting. And you get to bring all the lands, any number of lands.
Yeah.
So if you're swinging with, 20 birds, top 20, say you get like, I don't know, couple of, what does it say? Put one of them, okay. That is 19 other cards. So you get
What,
50,
7 lands or
7
something?
lands, 10 lands. They all come into the battlefield. He gets buffed. So I think that's a fun deck. I might have to touch on that.
Definitely a more fun deck.
Plus 3/5, pretty good stats. One thing I've noticed about Mike and 11 being a 3/5, a lot of times it's just a 4-drop you can cast, hopefully on turn 3, and then you got a decent blocker, decent body
big
out
butt.
there. Yeah.
It'll definitely protect you. Early game too.
Yeah.
Get some extra lands out. We got green so we can ramp a little better. White, not much ramp. Might see me toss an Archaeomancer's map in there. Maybe.
Oh, green, man, you ain't gonna need it.
I don't think we'll need it, but maybe.
Now, Cartographer's Hawk. There's a bird and it's helping you get some lands.
Hey,
See,
man.
I'm liking it. See, I could go the degenerate route. Mosquito Nexus. They're all birds. Tutor for the Mosquito Nexus.
Yeah.
Enlightened Tutor, Idyllic Tutor. Get what
You're
I
in
need.
blue, artifact tutors all day.
Did you already
It's-
say all the fetch land stuff too? You could do
That
that.
Fetch
could go
lands
in
are
this.
cool.
We talked about
Absolutely.
that on the Tifa.
The Tifa, but
this would
yeah.
just give you all of them plus some more.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
dude, imagine you hit like
Instead of just the
10
5 that have green, or just the 4 that have
You
green.
hit 10 fetch lands.
10
but
different
they do
fetch
come
lands.
Untapped.
12 totals, right?
Unless you have a card that says permanent you control and
No,
are untapped.
no 10, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking
Little
of
Tiller
speaking
Engine, little
of
Spelunking.
yeah,
That could be a very interesting way to do that, and I think I might definitely build this deck down the road.
That'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be an interesting thing. I'm looking forward to this. This will be down the road because this is going to take a lot of deck tech and a lot of mind work. Because I do not want to go Tempest Hawks. We might put some, just for some birds, maybe some filler birds.
Yeah.
If we run out, and we'll slowly work on getting them out. But I think it's a start. Well, any other commanders you guys are looking at? And it doesn't have to be just commander. I mean, this is a
yeah. I
standard
was gonna say
set.
it's like not any other big commanders that I was really been looking at.
In the Bant Precon, the cover commander is Titus. But I'm looking at the secondary commander. I'm looking at Yuna. Is that the green?
White-green?
White-green?
Yes, Lesnia.
No, it's Bant. She's Bant.
Oh, she also. Oh, she
She's
is the backup commander.
She's backup
Okay.
commander.
Let's see.
It-
Grand Summoner.
Yep, Grand Summoner.
Grand Summon. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you cast a creature spell this turn, that creature enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters. Whenever another permanent you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, if it had one or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may put that number of +1/+1 counters on target creature.
So here we see a mana dork that gives counters and an Ozolith on your commander.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good art too.
It's a very good art, and even the showcase art, the full art, it's beautiful.
Take a gander there.
You know, I'm excited for this one. I think it's and like in this precon.
Oh yeah.
Straight up Titus precon.
Yeah.
Infinite walking
nice.
ballista combo. Dude, in
Yeah.
a precon,
Yeah.
it's insane. You know, that was my very first combo in Magic. Heliod Sun Ground and
Yeah.
Walking Ballista. Give it lifelink. There you go.
Yeah, I win many a CDH with my Zer deck with that combo.
It's a very good combo.
That's the easiest line to go for.
You can sneak it out. But I'm excited for
Yeah,
this one.
sneak it out. Yeah.
No, dude. A couple weeks back, I was playing. We were doing high power. I played the Walking Ballista on turn 2 because I didn't have anything better to do, and I was like, I'm just gonna play this Walking Ballista for 2, so it's only gonna have 1/1/1 counter on it. I just want a blocker. I just want a blocker.
Sneaky.
Passes around. Next turn on the end step before my turn, I buff him up to 2 counters. Swing with Zer, get Heliod.
Everybody's going.
Everybody's gone.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that one. You know, I think that might be the first one I touch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this totally reduces. You can just pay 2 mana for a Walking Ballista with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, you could just tap her, pay 1 other mana. It would come in with 3 counters.
Yeah.
And then your Heliod's online.
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
That'll get you going.
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. I think that's.
I mean, could you just cast the Walking Ballista for X is 0?
But you'd have to use the mana.
Yeah, so
it needs to
when
use
you
the
next
mana.
cast a creature spell this turn.
So you don't need to use that mana.
You
can
could
just
float the white for your Heliod.
Heliod and then just cast Walking
and do
Ballista for
a
0.
0 mana Walking Ballista, 2 counters, and you're on your way.
the
Nice.
Walking Ballista just come.
Yeah, Walking Ballista
a
buff.
0 drop.
Walking Ballista is now a 0.
Oh wow, they really buffed him.
They cooked him up this time.
Oh my
Gonna need yourself a
goodness.
Micromancer.
I'm gonna need a lot of things.
Not Micromancer. I did that mistake. Trinket Mage.
Trinket Mage. Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a lot of things for this deck. I
That's
think
cool.
This
Actually,
is probably gonna be the first one I do.
Ranger Captain of Eos also gets that too.
Yeah, it sure does. It's a pretty cool deck. I like it.
I'd like to see you build it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you build it.
I'm literally just gonna do the precon and tweak it.
You just swap it out.
Yeah, there's so many
Does
good
it come with
cards.
the Heliod in there?
It comes. No, it comes.
I don't
with,
think they reprinted that one.
it doesn't come with a lot of lifelink stuff. I don't think.
Okay.
It's about to as soon as I get a hold of it. I got a Heliod with
He said,
with
"I
his
got
name
plans
on
that
it.
I cannot share with y'all."
I got plans that will definitely be en route as soon as that deck hits my hands. We're gonna cause problems. Dude, the arts in this set
Yeah,
are
the
crazy.
arts in this set
Like just
One thing
the
I
full
did
arts.
see about the
with the
arts that are screenshots from the game. I saw something the other day that said, so we've come full circle into real Magic products looking like fan-made proxies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
and
is
that's-
a-
I definitely like.
It's a little weird, but I do think they got a little quirk to them. I like how they look.
You know, they had to save a little bit of money on this set that they're totally not going to make any money on, for sure.
Not being a person who didn't play too much Final Fantasy, I do know about like the gun sword and things like that, and I think they did it dirty.
What's that?
I think it's what is it, Lion's Blade or Lion's Heart? It's an equipment.
I know what you're talking about.
Go down, go down. No, that's not it.
It might be pretty far down.
Yeah, because it
been
is
out
an
for a
uncommon
It's
equipment.
been spoiled for a while.
You'd think it would be a legendary artifact, which it being what it is, I think, people who've played the games. Yep, right there.
Oh, that's custom.
Yeah, it's custom. We gotta find the Lionheart.
Lionheart, yeah.
Okay, 4 mana, equip 2. When this equipment enters, 2 damage to any target. Equipped creature gets +2/+1.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Great
And
card,
it's
guys.
the Plasma Blade one. It's the good one.
That's a little rough.
If 4
Yeah.
mana, equip 2, 6 mana, and all you get is an ETB, deal 2 damage. That's the most.
It's one of those cards that
card in the
is
set for me.
probably only going to really work in a pre-release.
Yeah, I think it's only going to see play there, unless you have insane artifact cost reduction, and maybe ways to blink it.
So there is another card here that I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Ahriman.
Yeah.
It's a 2 and a black, 2/2 flying death touch, 3 mana, sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. Its creature type is Eye Horror.
Oh, I know somebody that likes.
Letter I tribal?
Likes eyes.
No,
eye.
Eyeball tribal.
Eyeball tribal.
It looks like there's a few that you can put in that eyeball tribal.
Multiple eyes. So like.
So
we're
it's
talking
not
single
one.
eye. It's eyeball, not eyeballs.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it to.
You got a Barad-dûr in there from Lord of the Rings. Sauron's Tower, baby.
I have that in my pirate deck and it doesn't fit in there. I've been looking for something. I should put it in that.
It's a good spot for it.
Those Tarkir lands with the dragon eyeballs came in super handy.
Oh, I bet they did. The arts, even just on the normal cards like commons, uncommons in this set,
they're
beautiful.
So many good arts.
I think they did put a lot of work into this, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it. I do really hope that we don't deal with the scalping on it. I think that the collector's packs will be definitely up there, and it will be hard to get a hold of them. But I do hope they obviously since it's a standard set, they're going to keep reprinting play boxes. So I don't think we'll have an issue getting a hold of those.
Okay.
But I don't know. I hope we don't have issues of like $12 packs.
For play boosters. Yeah.
You know?
Oh, world map.
Oh, there we go.
This one?
I think
one mana artifact. Pay 1, sacrifice this artifact, search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Or you can pay 3 to sack it, search your library for a land, reveal it, and put it in your hand.
That's pretty good.
It's I love what's the Traveler's Amulet?
That's a good one.
It's world map without the second effect. I love it.
You got Mishra's Bubble? No, that's draw card.
Yeah, that's draw card. But even Traveler's Amulet, like I love it in a commander deck, especially like 3 or more colors. You're going to be able to find a color that you need. It's a turn 1 play if you don't have anything else cool going on turn 1, and it's going to set you up for success for the rest of the game. And this does that. Also, it lets you get any utility land you might want if you can hold out till later.
Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
It's Traveler's Amulet plus.
I honestly see that probably getting some play in CDH. Believe it or not.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
That's not a bad turn 1 if you can keep it around.
Yeah, people want to go get their Gaia's Cradle,
Their Gaia's Cradles, their Urborgs, their Yavi Mayas,
Wastelands.
their Wastelands.
That's a fun one. A little Boseiju action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go get the channel lands.
Get your removal. Get your Otawara.
Mm-hmm.
Otawaru.
A lot of beautiful land reprints in here.
Yeah, the towns are interesting. They seem like they kind of suck, but they might have some synergies we haven't seen yet that are going to make them really good. Have you guys, can you think of a legend that relates to towns that's been revealed yet? Like
no, there was one. There's the 5-color. The 5-color.
I was gonna say there has to be a 5-color land commander.
Yeah,
or town commander.
I forget his name, but I do know that they come in untapped. All lands you control enter untapped.
Okay.
I saw that one. Oh man, I wish I could remember the name. I know it's Simic, technically in its casting cost, but it has all 5 colors in its identity.
Okay. Is there a way we can filter on this here? Oh, this is just the commander stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I was hoping it was just going to be legendary creatures.
I don't know if they're in Gatherer yet.
We're going to find out, because I'm interested about this as well.
Editor, cut this.
All right. I think we found it.
We're back. We found it. We finally found it, guys.
The Wandering Minstrel.
Yeah.
So he's green and a blue for a 1/3 human bard. Lands you control enter untapped.
It's pretty good.
The Minstrel's Ballad. At the beginning of your combat, or combat on your turn, if you control 5 or more towns, create a 2/2 elemental token that is all colors, and then for 3 and white, blue, black, red, green, other creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of towns you control.
Oh my goodness. I've been looking for a 5-color commander, brother.
Hey,
I know a lot of people.
Coalition Victory deck.
But without spending
Yeah, that would work.
hundreds of dollars on lands,
Mm-hmm.
this might be it.
That's why I went with the Gates deck originally.
What have I said this entire
A
podcast?
5-color deck. That,
Making bad cards good.
Yeah.
Making bad cards
All
good,
your
dude.
tap
All your
lands,
tap lands now
enter
are.
untapped.
oh my god, this works with my Clue lands.
It does work with your clue lands.
Yo, this might be.
Hey man,
He's Universes
Mike
Beyond.
11?
he is Universes
You
Beyond.
might
It
end up with
matches
Mike
the
and 11,
theme.
bro.
It might have to. All right. Well, dude,
Man,
I'm
cast
really
that on turn 2, and now you're like,
excited.
yes, all my clue lands are gonna enter untapped.
Because this release is coming up really soon. We got a lot to look forward to. A lot of cards to get our hands on. A lot of cards to talk about with you guys. A lot of decks to talk about.
Facts.
Some games to play.
Big stuff coming.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
games.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be a work in progress. See if we can get our hands on some packs to crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah. Well, I think that's gonna be it, guys. For today, at least.
Yeah, I think we've got our
Episode
hands
1
full
down.
on some cards.
One in the books.
One in the books. All right, guys.
Definitely
We'll see
one
you
in the
guys
books.
next time.